Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I am Lisa Richmond, and this is Tarot Tuesday. And I decided to come back on camera and shake it up a little bit. I realized I was doing a lot of like off camera Tarot Tuesday reads, which is totally fine. Love the off camera vibe. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll connect. I'll connect with you guys face to face. And I have my little kitty with me today, the Angel's a special rescue kitty who's very rarely around, to be honest. So this is nice that she's coming in. She's really excited to be here. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to pull some cards today, bring in any messages that the divine wants us to hear, and kind of just like dig into what spirit has in store. Like what do we need to hear today? And that's usually, my intention coming in is spirit, connect me to the highest consciousness and bring through any messages deemed for your greatest and highest good. And I gotta say, I always say this is a timeless reading. Right now we're kind of in the middle of eclipse season, so we just experienced it's equinox, like spring equinox, so we're officially having more light than not. So that's a bit of a celebration for me because I am a bit of a sun nut. I like warmth. I live in one of the coldest places on earth, yet I function the best in the heat, so that's funny. Talk about releasing expectations. Anyway, so we're going to pull some cards today. We're going to see what Spirit has to say. I usually like tune in a little bit at the beginning to bring through any messages. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tune in, see what Spirit has to say, and then we're going to jump into the cards. All right, let's go. Bringing through any messages deemed for the greatest and highest good of all from and only from the highest consciousness available. Okay, so right away they're talking and they're showing me that we're in the process of enduring, attempting to endure our light and dark, masculine, feminine, yin and yang. And there's talking about the left side of our bodies, if we've had significant like our body kind of talking to us more from the left side, pains along our left arm, pains along our left, like the left side of our neck, even in our head, any funky body kind of responses in our left side. That's the integration of the feminine. That's interesting. So the integration of the feminine aspect in order to bring through more balance. All this makes sense with the equinox. Okay, balance. That the divine feminine is coming through more to help balance out any. It's kind of like a push pull. They're showing me that kind of pendulum swing, and right now as a collective we're actually pulling through the divine feminine energies to help us to process a lot of our old healing and wounding. If you watched Thoughtful Thursday last week, I talked a lot about that, about transmuting wounding from other timelines, other lives, ancestry, like all the things. But this is more like integrating it on a collective level and allowing like Mother Earth to come and speak for like in the forefront to be able to integrate more of this feminine wisdom, feminine energies. That's interesting. I'm not talking about just like women. As we know, if you're watching, you probably understand the concept of just masculine and feminine. So the feminine idea of receptivity, rest, restore, creation, creative, nurturing, that kind of energy is actually being brought forward. So there's a lot of wounding that is coming forward for the collective to take a look at. Oh, that's interesting. So if there is something within your life, your timeline, your relationships, this is all the energy right now is about balancing out that masculine and feminine. So if you are finding yourself are doing so much, like eating lots of cold foods, doing lots of weights, like, checklists, doing kind of thing. Maybe you want to like lean into the feminine aspect too, a little bit more receptivity. rest and restore, and vice versa. If you're feeling that you have done a lot of visualization and a lot of creative energy but haven't actually implemented a lot of the stuff, this might be a great opportunity for you to start bringing in that balance. But on a collective level, it's more about integrating more of the feminine into our balance so that we can have a good equal balance. So just see in your life, like, what is it that you might need more balance in the divine masculine and feminine, okay? So how does that show up in your life? In the past, when you're out of balance a little bit, do you lean more into the feminine? Do you lean more into the masculine? And if you, right now, when you're wanting to balance it out a little bit more, what does that look like? Okay, I hang out comfortably more in my feminine, but it's harder for me to be in the feminine because I was raised in the perception that the masculine energy is better. And that when you lean into the very fluid, intuitive, receptive, resting, like mode, it looks more like lazy. When in all actuality, that's not the way I work. So I've had to find my balance for sure. And it's like when I find myself off balance, I'll be like, why am I trying to drive this home so hard? Like this, I might be in my masculine a bit. That's just my own little story, but this is for you guys to kind of take a look at and where that is showing up in your life right now. And yeah, that's the divine message right now. So you know what I'm going to start off with? I'm going to start off with the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, because that is such a divine feminine. Well, I think it's a divine feminine like cover, the cards. Like that's what I feel when I look at it, because she's like this goddess and it's just the best picture ever. But it's not just a feminine deck. But I'm going to pull from here. So let's see what the cards have to say, if Spirit has any more nuggets of information to bring through for the cards, as this is Tarot Tuesday. So small steps, asking for help. This is called the Camel Boy, which is really interesting because it's a boy. But again, we're not talking about masculine and feminine. Small steps and asking for help. This is really interesting because what they're saying right now is obviously the small steps of creating that balance. And what is a very maybe even shadow masculine, like when, not shadow, but like when we're out of our divinity within the masculine, like when we're out of it a bit, it's like we feel like we have to do it all ourselves. And we're like, well, when we're out of balance, it's like, no, I'll do it all. I'll be. And even what that looks like when in the shadow feminine is like that martyr energy, right? So the Camel Boy, number 33 too, it's a divine number, 2 3s. Okay, so if 3s are showing up for you right now, this is a good card for you. And small steps in asking for help, small steps towards creating that balance for yourself and asking for help. That is a feminine trait, is receptivity. Okay, allowing yourself to get to where you need to go without pushing yourself too damn hard. Okay, like don't come down so hard on yourself. If there's something you're working towards, see how you can integrate maybe a little bit more feminine energy. I don't care if you're a man or you're a woman. More feminine energy means like allowing yourself to receive some help and receptivity of it, and allow yourself to maybe take pause and recalibrate, because it's like a really important part. Okay, so and they're saying like with the intense energy right now, we have been almost, they're saying like you guys are almost working in a like survival mode. Like the energy is similar to survival mode. Like when our cortisol levels are through the roof, we're in fight or flight, and we don't have a tiger chasing us. We just have the stresses of paying a friggin' mortgage, right? So sometimes when we can get a little bit in the whirlwind of the fear and the chaos, we feel like we're so far detached from being able to just live a really peaceful life. And they're saying like small steps with this, you guys, small steps. And it's in the small steps of receptivity specifically that we can allow some of these parts of us to like open up to receive and open up to explore more with our heart and receiving that way with our heart and giving rather than like focus down, mind down, go, 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 right? Okay. Anything else, Spirit? Oh. Well, I really feel like this is, I was told once, do not pick them up off the ground and use them. If they drop them to the ground, they're not for the collective. So we're not going to use those. Spirit Divine, please allow me to receive the messages clearly. Okay, so we have the Dream Walker, which is really cool. Number 8. Oh my God, 8 has been coming up too, as well as that kind of infinity sign, which is so much about the giving and giving and receiving, that infinite possibility. The Dream Walker dreams the collective good and illusions. Now, dreams have been out of control. I talked about that on Thursday too. Dreams have been out of control lately. Like our dream state is doing so much work for us and for our collective. It's crazy. If you haven't seen Thoughtful Thursday, go back and watch it because there's a lot of explanation from my guides about that. But this is all about the collective good. This is all about working in that like infinite perspective of energy of giving and receiving, right? And I love the illusion part of this card because so much of the illusion in which we've taken part as a collective, collectively agreed upon, the illusion of fear, the illusion of not enoughness, of scarcity, of all that, so that we live in that state. When that illusion, that wall of illusion is starting to dissipate because we are stepping into our power. We are stepping into our like main character moments, right? Our dreams matter because they're being brought through for us so strongly. Now we're getting these intuitive hits. We're having these synchronistic moments in order to connect us into the greater good and for the greater good collectively. Okay, so this is really powerful because this is about like stepping into your trueness and allowing the illusion of that kind of 3D harshness, letting that dissipate as well. And the card that came through with it was number 32, the Sun Dancers. And I love that. That's joyful activity, celebration of life, and abundance. Okay, so this is even like walking towards this. It's like small steps. It's like taking control of your life right now, walking those small steps towards your desire, towards your dreams. The dream walker, you're literally walking towards your dreams. Okay, and then you are working in that vibration of what your dreams are. Your dreams don't come through with an illusion of scarcity. Your dreams are, that's your authentic self talking to you. And when you walk into it in this like openness, this joyful celebration, like this openness of saying, I'm here. I'm here taking an active part in this life that is so sacred. Okay, this is like very amazing. The like natural like fluidity into these cards. So I love that. Okay, I did get a new tarot deck and it is so beautiful. And it has a completely different vibe to it than all the rest. See, look at, they fell on the floor. I'm not gonna take part in the cards that fell on the floor. All right, Divine, what cards from the tarot do you want to see? Oh, the Green Man. Oh my gosh. So take a look at this. This is all about like nature's connection. Um, oh my gosh, the integration with this. This is the Emperor energy. So this is interesting because the Emperor is usually viewed as in like, that's why I say this deck is so different. But this deck is it's called the Chrysalis Tarot. I'll put it in the description. It's called the Chrysalis Tarot. And so it's all about transformation. Everything is about breaking out of the old paradigm into the new frequency of what is now. And it takes completely different form. So all of the characters within this tarot deck have gone through massive transformation and taken the form of their most divine aspect. Okay, so the emperor in old decks shows, like, the man, the king, the emperor, the masculine dominance, right? And that can very much have the energy, but this is the green man, not the red man. Not that there's anything wrong with the red man, but this is the green man. And the energy of this is, how can we're talking about balancing out masculine and feminine. And this is the Emperor card being shown as a divine counterpart of Mother Gaia, where he's producing the the growth and the habitat of these birds, and the safety to be able to, like, lay their eggs and create this safe space where the emperor's energy of, like, caretaking and being the provider is coming from, like, the divine nature of life. It's, oh man, I'm getting hit real hard with this. I think this is really cool. I love how a lot of my messages, brutal truth, will come through as directed for the feminine, because I live so much in that, like, kind of divine feminine or the goddess mode. That's where I connect my life force, my heart to. But getting to know and trust the divine masculine has been one of my biggest life lessons. It's a course that I continue to have to take. And I learn more and I learn more and I learn more. And then I kind of go back a little bit. And then I have to learn more, because I didn't come in trusting men. I certainly didn't have a lifetime of trusting men or the masculine, right? And this is all about the energy right now that is fostering that balance. That's fostering the balance and bringing harmony from integrating the divine feminine principles into the divine masculine, which they did in this card. And I've never pulled this card. I've never pulled this card. I've never pulled this card in this deck. This is like mic drop moment for me. Okay. Yeah. So Callie came in and she represents the tower. And it's interesting because when I was talking about the green man, Callie kept showing herself in this deck. And I'm like, no, I don't. You know, when you, like, want to micromanage your card pull and you're like, I don't want the tower. Come on. Give the viewers what they want. They don't want the tower. We don't want the tower. Well, here we go. So again, very transformational. Callie is a goddess, a fierce energy, but she is the one that, like, she gets shit done. And so she's one of the goddesses that integrates some of the masculine properties. This is really funny. Okay, so Callie, who's a goddess, you think goddess, oh, divine feminine properties, right? Well, Callie integrates the masculine principles of, like, getting things done and, like, saying, like, I'm not stopping until I've achieved what I'm doing, right? And so having the Green Man Emperor and Callie together in their role switch from divine masculine and feminine is like, what a way for spirit to show us how this is playing out in our everyday life. And when you take the tower into consideration, the tower is breaking down all old structures of the perception of shadow masculine, and the confinement of the shadow masculine into integrating the beautiful principles of, look at the emperor, sustaining life, right? Like the masculine principle of being the provider of life. And when I say be the provider, they're like, that's going to be triggering. I don't mean that where it's a man's job to go make money. That like that's just a 3D perspective on it. I mean, like when you go back to the primitive way in which humans function and have continued to evolve, a lot of the divine masculine properties about being hunter gatherers and providing for their community is a intricate part of why souls choose to be men in their human form so that they can experience that. And vice versa with women to be able to like carry babies and embody the divine feminine. So we carry these principles, we carry both of them. But there's just so much about this right now. There's so much about the integration. There's so much about the like role reversal. I knew that these cards were going to kick our ass a little bit, and they're kicking my ass right now. If you guys can't tell, I'm like dumbfounded at the messages that are coming through because I'm like, I sometimes maybe simple is better, but clearly not today. Change energy, guys. This is all about change energy. This is about how you can integrate the aspects of self that are maybe that you might be resisting. So if you are resisting some of your feminine principles, see how those small steps that you can start bringing them in. And if you're resisting your masculine principles, then see how you can take those small steps and see how that divine masculine can play out in such a harmonious way. Right? A lot of us, I hate to say it, guys, like, because of course, not just men carry the masculine energy, but, you know, a lot of us, especially women, have endured more shadow masculine behavior than divine masculine because the collective energy in which we were raised in was shadow masculine. So that's the whole point of this reading is that we're trying to balance things off. How, and then the question for you watching is how can you do that in your life? How does that look? Okay, let's finish off with some, maybe on a lighter note, Spirit. They're like, yeah, right. Healing Waters. Healing Waters by Rebecca Campbell. Drink more water, guys. Drink twice as much water as you've been drinking. Okay. The Mist. Trust your inner compass. Be led from within. And I have Lady of the Lake. Okay. Well, the Lady of the Lake is my like guardian. So that's interesting. And that's new beginnings. Something is about to happen. And don't we know it? This is new beginnings. You guys, this is spring. This is the new year. This is actually the new year. Equinox is actually the Earth's new year. So if you didn't feel the pull of celebrating the new year, Jan 1, or like maybe Chinese New Year, or you know, if it's equinox for you and you're like this is the beginning for me, I I would probably agree with you because there's massive transformational energy. This particular reading is drawing attention to the transformation, the balancing of the divine masculine and feminine so we can really start creating our existence in harmony, right? And how does that look to each and every one of you? Guaranteed. You watching right now, if you're still here, you're like, yeah, this is definitely real in my existence right now. So the Mist, trust your inner compass and be led from within. Okay, so like if you put all the masculine and feminine energy aside, we're all here with this higher level soul, you know, and we all have built within us our inner compass to direct us. And during this time of transformation, that's our number one. That's our number one. And the pendulum doesn't swing so far from one side to the next when you do integrate the energies into one and you do transmute any of the old fears or dilemmas in which has been holding you back. Sometimes it does take those small steps. But the Mist is all about like when I was talking about like the illusions dissipating, that's what they were giving me, those like mists. You know, when the mists kind of open and you can see through the illusion, right? The mists of Avalon really show up for me too. It's like you being able to see through the illusion. And illusion is up here, right? The dream walker. Very similar, actually. You can't see the dream walker anymore, but the woman standing in the mist very much resembles the woman that was playing her flute in the Dreamwalker. Anyway, this is about illusions clearing up. This is about you being able to trust your inner guidance, and that you coming from a place of balance and trusting that inner knowing is what your number one guidance system in. And the Lady of the Lake, this is all about new beginnings. And you move into your new beginning with that trust system in that balanced place. So if you're looking for this big change, you're looking for this transformation energy, and you're right in the thick of it, and you're in your transformation, you want the transformation to occur with balance. You know, when a butterfly emerges out of the cocoon, they don't have one. Sometimes they do, but very rarely. You know, they're equal. They have the balance. That's the whole part of our existence, is this balance. And right now, the number one thing in which Spirit wants you to focus on, because that's why you're here, and this is why I obviously am getting it, is about the masculine and feminine. Balancing that so that we can create that wholeness and that balance for our transformation as we are transforming right the hell now into this new existence. Okay? Okay. That's where I'm going to stop, because that's all I got. Like, this is all I got. I need to like go meditate after that, because there's so much energy that came through these cards. You probably wonder, Lisa, what? Oh, I think I showed you the Chrysalis tarot. I'll link it. So I'll link all three decks that I used, but they're great. So, hey, let me know what you thought of this card pull, how you like the system, if you prefer to see it all down in front of you so you can see it. Do you like this system? Do you like them both? Do you not care at all? Doesn't matter. Just please let me know, and like, share, do all the things, help this channel grow. And if you want to work with me, head to lisarichmond.ca, and I pull cards for you. I do mediumship readings. Um, yeah, yeah. It's mostly online, obviously. But yeah, I'm open to travel as well, and have people come to get healing sessions and one-on-one stuff too. So reach out if you're interested in that. Okay, guys. I'm sending you lots of love. I feel very warpy right now because there's so much energy that came through. So, and I'm having like some deep like realizations right now. Okay, I'm sending you love. I'll see you next week, or I'll see you Thursday. Okay, I'll see you Thursday. Okay, bye guys.